Hi, white-haired gardener here. Today we are hanging geraniums from our cattle panels because they are a good guardian plant to stop Japanese beetles. So if you are any kind of gardener, you probably have a ton of pots that you haven't pressed into service. You have lots, you don't want to get rid of them. Well, here is a cheap way to press them into service, to use them by making a very inexpensive hanging hanger for your pots. Let me show you how I do it. First, let's talk about how much string you need. Now this is a 6x6 pot. For a 6x6 pot, to get the sort of hang that you see on that cattle panel over there, we've used about 10 feet of string. If you want it longer, use more string. If you want it shorter, use less string. Yeah, rocket science, I know. Anyway, here we go. Okay, first, tie a knot in your rope. Set it down. Now what we are going to be making is called a carrier knot. First things first, you do a little loop on this end. Thankfully, I have a table to work with now. I tried doing this sitting on the ground, did not work at all. It was way too clumsy. So, back to this small loop. This loop should not end up being any taller than the top of your pot. Now, Mr. White-haired Gardener, if you can swing around here, here's our test. Put it up here. Look, it's just about fingers width below that. That's ideal. The next step, you take the long loop, flip it over the pot, and see these two little loops here? They should be about the same. They shouldn't be much taller than the top of the pot. Actually, not tall, not over the pot at all. Take the end of this loop, go under this loop, slide it up. Alrighty. Now, we're still leaving these loops in place. Now take this big old thing again, drape it over the top, and feed it under each loop. Pull it a little bit so you don't have this giant loop here. Now when you pull it up, it should wrap itself neatly being the operative term, around this pot. Now if it goes up a little bit, you can adjust the level of this, pull these up to make sure it hangs nice and straight. But basically, that's it. Now, and ta-da! A perfectly good, repurposed hanging pot using our handy dandy carrier knot. Now, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and like, share, and subscribe, and come back again for many, money-saving tips. Almost forgot. Now, we use zip ties to tie them to the cattle panel, but you can use pretty well anything, strong wire, D-rings, anything like that that will hold it securely to the top, because you wouldn't want to come out the next morning and find this crashed down below. So basically, that's my only other recommendation, and look forward to seeing you again.